Thank you very much. Netflix shares soared today on the back of its latest results and subscriber growth. The company now has 125 million subscribers spread across the bulk of countries in the world. Now compare that to the BBC. The BBC gets 26 million television licenses, so you can call that 26 million subscribers UK. Netflix is adding to its base about 7 or 8 million every 3 months. Content and growth of the business model: make new content, attract new subscribers, and then you make the content more valuable and you can repeat the process. Many assume that it is now the great media disruptor. But then tech companies often defy gravity on the promise of future profits. Is Netflix one of those, or one that's cracked it? Our business editor, Helen Thomas, reports.
Is one media growth property starting to tower above the rest? Hard to believe the company striking fear into media bosses started out sending DVDs through the post. It's only 11 years since Netflix began streaming films online, and only 5 since it premiered its own content, following Frank Underwood's similarly rapid ascent.
Power is a lot like real estate. It's all about location, location, location.
Since 2012, when Netflix launched in the UK, the company has added 100 million subscribers globally, and it's showing no signs of slowing. But eyeballs don't come cheap.
I'm currently outranked by my 8-year-old son.
They're lured in by hit shows like The Crown. Netflix's content spending puts it in the TV big leagues, with the likes of Fox, Time Warner and Disney, well ahead of other traditional TV networks or online rivals. This year it plans to spend $8 billion. But is this splurge also defensive? As providers like Disney pull content off the platform, Netflix needs its own to fill the gap. Netflix reckons it will have 80 original films this year and about 700 original TV shows, new and old, available. But it expects negative cash flow of up to $4 billion and to be burning through cash for several years to come. Its long-term debt has nearly doubled in the past year. Yet Netflix's share price has rocketed, more than 10 times higher than 5 years ago, outstripping tech peers like Amazon, Facebook and Google. Go-go growth make this juggernaut seem unstoppable, but a slowdown or a strategic mishap could refocus attention on the comforts of cold, hard cash.
Helen Thomas there. Let's reflect briefly on Netflix with the Guardian TV journalist Ali Catterall. I mean, people say it's a bubble. You've seen the share price go soaring, a lot of debt, and is it?
I don't. Well, to adapt the old phrase, I think rumours of a Netflix bubble bursting have been greatly exaggerated. Put it like that. I mean, consider that at the beginning of this year, as you rightly said in your film, it had something like sort of 7 million new subscribers. Ultimately, it's got something like 125 million subscribers. Now, if you translate that to geographical territory, that's the 11th most populous nation on earth. That's not exactly to be sniffed at.
And those are people who are actually paying it money.
Yeah.
And it does. The model can work, can't it? Because new subscribers don't actually cost you very much more. You're defraying the cost of your content over more and more people.
Yes, completely. I mean, the other thing about Netflix is that you have to remember is that, and people forget this, is that it precedes Facebook and even Google.
Yeah.
It's had a long history. It started out as a sort of DVD mail order company, which ultimately helped put the hatchet into dear old Blockbusters. Remember that?
Yeah.
So what they've done successfully as a company is evolve, and now they're pretty much like leagues ahead in terms of what they're doing, in terms of sort of streaming
So
media.
what happened to Amazon? There was a point when it was Amazon Prime and Netflix were going to be the two great sort of rivals for streaming services.
Yeah.
Is Amazon... They bought
yeah.
Grand Tour, they got Jeremy Clarkson, and you used to support it as a kind of...
Yeah. I mean, funny, yeah. I mean, no one talks about the phrase Amazon Prime and chill, do they?
Right. They do talk
that's not really in the
Netflix
lexicon.
That's quite true. And people do say that I'm just going to go home and watch Netflix instead of television almost. It is in the language a bit, isn't it?
Oh, completely. I mean, it's as I said, it's causing slight connections with the same corporation. I mean, I know in the latest BBC annual report, there was worries that particularly younger people, younger viewers, had been caravanning in possibly droves from iPlayer to Netflix.
And they can watch certain BBC content on Netflix.
Yes, of course they can.
We're sounding like we're sort of we've taken the Kool-Aid in its favour.
I don't necessarily want to sound like a shield for Netflix here.
Right.
You know, other streaming platforms are available.
The threat to it, though, is that at the moment a lot of people are giving it or selling it content, and a lot of them, like Disney, will say, you know, actually, we should do it ourselves. They'll take their content off, and suddenly viewers will have more than an obvious Netflix choice each month. They'll have another 2, 3, 4 choices, and then maybe it'll all just look much more competitive.
You mean much more sort of generic or much more sort of across the board like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, one of the advantages of Netflix is that it has a great sort of personal model. You know, it's a bit, ironically, it's a bit like Amazon. If you like this, you'll like that kind of thing.
Right, so there's data in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What should the broadcasters, the traditional broadcasters, think of it? Should they be terrified?
You mean like you guys?
Well, like we try to depersonalise it, like the BBC.
Yes, like you guys, yes. I think you should be a little bit worried. Having said that, obviously the BBC relies on its licence fee. It's propped up by that. I think it would be okay. I don't think you need worry overly just yet. But having said that, Netflix is obviously in streaming media. Obviously, is the way to the future. Well, it is now. The future is now here. Here we go.
Ali, thank you very much indeed. And that is all we have time for. I will be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, have a very good night.